Ordnance Overview, Episode 2, the M69 Practice Hand Grenades. These are designed to be used for, obviously, hand grenade practice in the military. It's a cheaper and much safer alternative to throwing live M67 fragmentation grenades. These are designed to weigh the same as an M67. They are shaped the same as an M67, but instead of being filled with explosives and having a thinner steel body with a fragmentation matrix on the inside, these are 2 pieces of steel, technically 3 because there's a ring on the inside as well that's a backer for the weld, and they are welded together with a hole in the bottom. As you can see, I took the fuse out so you can see straight through. The hole in the bottom is to let the pressure out from the blasting cap that is on the bottom of the show it right here, M228 practice fuse. Now, from the outside, besides the blue color, these look exactly like the M213 fuses that are in the M67 high explosive grenades or fragmentation grenades. The difference is these only have a blasting cap on the end. Otherwise, they're the same 4 to 5 seconds, usually closer to 5, but don't count on it. But these are one-time use, and these bodies are made to be reused over and over again. That's why you see they have a lot of the blue coloring worn off. As you'll see, they're also not a perfect ball shape. A lot of times if you go to like an army surplus store or a gun show, people will be selling, M69 or M67 hand grenades that are perfectly round, but they have a rough texture. Those are not genuine practice grenades. Those are cast metal from probably China that are literally made just to be used or just to be sold in surplus stores and stuff. Similar to this pineapple grenade, this one here is a cast replica. This one here is a original practice grenade. All the blue is worn off, but yeah, there's a difference, and collectors really know the difference. The main difference for the older ones, especially the I believe it's I can't remember off the top of my head, the pineapple and the lemon style grenades, the fuses will be different. The newer replicas will use a newer style fuse, and the spoons will match this. They'll be because they make them and then they just use these used M228 fuses to complete them rather than make a replica. Where this has a different thread pitch, it has a older style fuse, and that's how you know it's original. So when in the military, when you're issued these, usually you'll have a whole box of these fuses. This is a newer one. This is an inert one I got off Gunbroker that somebody did a great job of taking a used one, cleaning it up, restoring it, and they even put a fake blasting cap, just a piece of aluminum tube they crimped on there. Looks awesome, but a little more correct. The other thing, just to get into the fuses real quick, there's the confidence clip, I believe it's called, on here, and then there's the safety thumb clip. There are 2 extra fuses or extra safety features that were added to these grenades. The thumb clip is just literally made to be popped off with your thumb, and then I believe it's the confidence clip here. You just twist this, then pull, and that's simply it. But those were just made for extra safety. You don't want a grenade pin accidentally coming out when it's on your vest or in a pouch or anything like that. But these simply screw in. When you're on the practice range in the military, you'll have a whole bunch of these and not as many of these, and you'll have some private or specialist on range detail and lower enlisted guy, and he'll just be screwing these in, getting them set up for the next group of soldiers to come and go through the course of fire with these practice grenades, giving them, Okay, just to cover real quick how the fuse works on a M67, M69 grenade, the difference between the two on the M213 fuse versus M228 practice fuses, the M213 has a much bigger blasting cap to initiate the composition B explosive. So as we said, the thumb clip, while you're holding the grenade, you just thumb it right off, it goes flying. The pin, as everyone knows, pull out. Don't do it with your teeth, it's a little tough for that. And then how this works is there's a pin right here that a anvil or a firing pin and hammer, basically like the hammer of a revolver almost, is spring loaded and will swing around straight to the top middle up here. And that happens when I let go of the spoon. The spoon right here is holding that down. When I let that go, it goes flying. And as you can see, that hammer came from down here in this compartment up and into there. And what did it do when it got up in there is, let me see if I can get it with my fingernail. So it swung up and hit that right in the center. Now what is that? It is approximately a small pistol primer. I've heard that in grenade fuses they use a certain kind that's quieter. Older grenades like this fuse here on the World War II style, when you'd let it fly, it would make a loud pop from that primer going off. If it's a quiet time, you can hear a primer. In the middle of gunfire, you aren't going to hear it. But supposedly they wanted that to be quieter so that the grenade going off might be a little more of a surprise. Not sure. I haven't seen any official paperwork on that, but it makes sense. It wouldn't be too hard. It's all pressed in there, sealed in there, and then that ignites the delay train, which comes down all the way to here, approximately, what would that be, about 1.5 inches, maybe 2 inches. And it burns just like a fuse all the way down till it hits what would be here, which is the explosive charge. And on these practice grenades, it's basically a firecracker just to simulate a grenade going off, not damage the body, and give the soldiers a sense of when that would detonate. Let them get used to the amount of time it takes after they throw the grenade. When I went through basic training, we were still learning how to cook off a grenade. You let that spoon fly, wait a second or two, then throw it. That way it goes off sooner after it lands. So these are pretty cool. A little bit harder to find. Like I said, usually you find the cast ones with the rough surface, and honestly, they're so prevalent they annoy me. These can be found on Gunbroker. You can find them probably on eBay if they still allow that kind of stuff, but also at gun shows if you know what to look for. I picked these two up a few years ago at a gun show. A guy had a whole wooden crate full of them, and he had a great price on them, just the bodies, and I regret not buying more. I bought 2 or 3 of them, and that's it. But sometimes you'll see these also. They'll be spray painted green to look more like an M67. But that's episode 2 of Ordnance Overview. If you have one of these, let me know. If you have an M67, I know there's some out there. I've bid on a few at auctions. There are some M67s out there that are inert. They have inert fuses, empty bodies. Some of them are filled with like a plastic or some kind of inert material to fill up the inside, and some of them are hollow. They usually fetch a few $100s or more. I'd love to have one. So if you have one, you aren't, or have an extra you're looking to get rid of, or letting me borrow for a video, let me know, or any other cool stuff for that matter. But I hope you guys like this. If you have any comments, questions, if you've thrown these in the military, you know what it sounds like. It's like a loud firecracker going off. I remember my first day at the grenade range in basic training. One of the instructors, he set one off in his hand, just holding it like this, and all the blasts, the sparks, the fire just shot out that way. But it was quite an impressive thing to see, and it made a lot of people jump when he pulled the pin on a grenade and just held it in his hand, counted to 5. But I hope you guys like that. I'll catch you next time. Shoot safe, stay safe, and let me know what you think.